Hello, ScorchArtist here. This video will be a video about how to get started drawing comic books, or drawing in general, or almost how to get started doing anything whatsoever, but mainly tailored towards comic books because, as you can see, comic books. That's what I will do. That's what I like to do. So, I have a couple things I want to go over in this video. There are 4. How to get started, overcoming resistance, how to be creative, and fundamentals. So these are things I've struggled with, and I've realized throughout the years of drawing, and a couple of things I've picked up. You probably heard them elsewhere. You probably figured them out on your own. But if you haven't, I'm here to help. So let's hop right in. The first thing is just start. Draw anything. It does not matter. Draw anything. And the reason for that is to assess where you are at creatively and your skill level currently. Now I have two sketchbooks here. This one from back 2nd, 3rd grade, and this one is from a couple months ago. I am about to be a freshman in college, starting in January. So it's been a while, as you can see. 3rd grade, freshman in college. And I'm going to show you where I started, basically. So this wasn't in my progress videos because, as you can see, I'm not at the normal workstation. If you saw the other video of my tools, I'm in Arizona currently at my mom's house. Sorry about that. At my mom's house, and this is where I work at my mom's house. And I found the sketchbook here, so I thought it would be cool to show you guys. But basically, I'm going to show you. This is me just starting. This is me just drawing whatever, just for the sake of drawing whatever. As you can see, there isn't much skill. There isn't much organization. There isn't much anything, actually. It's very, very random. But when I started here, right, I'm pretty sure on the same time, I don't know if this volume was out or whatever, but I definitely had Naruto volumes. And Naruto was a big inspiration to me when I was younger. And when you have a place to reference where you want to go, kind of like a goal of artistic goal, whether it be your painting, whether it be you want to make comic books or whatever you want to do artistically, you want to have a reference point to where you want to go. Obviously, you'll have one. I assume if you start, you're probably inspired by somebody. But Masashi Kishimoto was my inspiration, and I knew that when I was here, right, drawing stick figures, I wanted to get from here to here, and that's very important because now you have a benchmark on where you want to be. So as you can see, this is where I started. It wasn't that good, right? And it's almost like here in Bleach. I have another example. This is obviously not Tite Kubo. I don't know how to say his name. I heard it's spelled or said 2 different ways. But this is where he first started with Bleach. As you can see, this is Ichigo. And this is the style he began with, his original style. And this is volume 19. And it's the same basic thing happening. It's Ichigo with a sword. But as you can see, let me turn off this light here. Maybe this might help. Nope. As you can see, he began here, still good. Don't compare yourself to this. But he's still very good here. But over time, he gradually improved to this level. And that's the show progression takes time. It took 19 volumes for him, maybe less. But it doesn't matter. Just start, see where you're at, and then you can have a goal. And as you can see, proof is in the pudding. Eventually, you'll get better. It's proof. If you keep on drawing, you'll get from here to here. So this is where I was. And this is some random, I was practicing the panel styles. You can see these are 4 equal panels. This is a panel mixture. This is my newest sketchbook, my most recent one. You haven't seen this one yet because it's in my latest progression video. I haven't put that up because I tried uploading it and it's had an issue uploading. So I think I have to go to the library or something, or a place with better internet connection than my house to upload it. So I'm going to go over there soon, but I'll just show you this now. So this is where I'm at currently, basically. This is where I am with my own imagination currently. And as you can see, compared to this comic book, I think it's called My Kingdom or whatever, I improved, and that's because I was drawing a lot the entire time. So One of the things that helped me get this good was, another thing I like to talk about is buying drawing books. I have a lot of them right here, over there next to my suitcase. Those are all Shonen Jump. Those are all manga. And you want to buy drawing books because when you start off and you don't have a reference point, you'll make a lot of mistakes because you don't understand it yet. You need a reference point when you're drawing because you're going to miss a lot of things just because, and you're going to need a place to teach you about the things you're messing up on. And as you can see, I have a lot of them here. These are my oldest ones. These are the ones I had when I was like really young. I was learning from these ones. These are ones from the library and things I got recently. But yes, so drawing books are very, very important because they're you can hold them, you can look through them, you can stay awake at night staring at them. It's not going to hurt your eyes or anything. Another great place is Pinterest, right? You want to use places like Pinterest and YouTube to teach yourself. When you're beginning, you want to learn, right? You want to spend some time understanding. You want to spend some time to comprehend, and then you want to practice. And you want to copy and practice and learn. And it's all about repetition when you're beginning. I didn't fill the sketchbook up or anything. I didn't fill the sketchbook up or anything. But it was definitely all about the repetition that I put into it. Don't try to be independent. It's not a good way to learn. So get your drawing books, use the internet, Pinterest, and YouTube to look things up. If you don't know about Pinterest, you look up a word, and they'll give you a zillion pictures on that word. You look up manga, it'll give you 1,000 pictures on manga. You look up painting of a tree, you'll get thousands of paintings on a tree. So it's a really awesome place to learn. You may feel disheartened when you begin. I know I did when I was drawing this way. I didn't care about that when I was this young because I just didn't care. I was like, I'm going to be that good eventually. I don't care. I'm just going to draw. But I know if you're older, you may get disheartened because you probably care about things more because your brain is developing and it's going through stages. And you might care more than you did when you're like 10 years or like 8 years old. But yeah, you will get disheartened. If you don't, that's awesome. But recognize that you only suck now. You're only bad now because you haven't done it for a long time. The only way to ensure that you stay bad is to stop drawing. If you can only draw stick figures and you're like, man, I can't draw a full person like this guy, you're just not gonna get anywhere. You should egg yourself on and be your cheerleader, right? And then when you get better, you can be your own critique. But when you're beginning, you should definitely be your own cheerleader. You should be learning and cheering yourself on. The only way to ensure that you stay bad is to completely stop working on things. So if you want to stay in your mediocre level, just give up, right? That's not the way to go. Do the opposite. Keep going, and you will see yourself gradually get better. Proof is in the pudding. Repetition. Repetition is a great way to learn anything. I'm going to show you guys an example from my sketchbook here of me trying to learn how to draw girls. So if you've seen my old videos, or my not old videos, not really old, but my past videos that I put up, I was talking about how I didn't know how to draw girls. And if you look through those sketchbooks I have in the progress videos, I don't really draw much girls because I didn't like drawing girls. And I didn't know how to draw girls, and they were a challenge to me. So I never sat down and tried to learn how to draw girls. And I realized that a couple months ago, I was like, wait, I want to make a comic book, but I don't know how to draw girls. And I thought that's going to be an issue because I can't have a comic book with just boys. So I took some of my own advice. And I started drawing girls. So this is the first girl. I copied it from the Marvel book on how to draw comic books. It's a good reference place on how to draw girls and stuff like that. You can see it looks all right. There's things that are uneven. I was also practicing with the G pen, so that was a good way to learn too. Inking with a G pen, which I also gave up on when I was really young because I thought it was too complicated. But now I have to relearn how to do these things because I stopped when I was younger. As you can see, it gradually gets a little more even, a little bit better each time I did it. So I just sat down, and every time I drew the girl, it would gradually get nicer and nicer and nicer. Eventually, I was able to draw. These are all still from the comic book, but I'll show you. I was able to draw my own girl from my own memory and my own imagination. So repetition is very important. So this is a girl that I drew from memory. Okay. So I couldn't do this like the 2 days before or the day before. But then I was like, all right, so I did all this, and I was like, okay, I get the basic gist of how this is supposed to work. And I tried to copy the same pose and a different pose that I made up from my mind. And I think it came out relatively successful. This looks like a girl, I think. I mean, you guys tell me. I think it looks like a girl. And yeah, so repetition is very, 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 very important when you are beginning to learn. One thing I'd like to propose to you guys is a 1-week challenge, okay? 1-week challenge. The challenge is basically to draw for 15 to 30 minutes a day for a week, 7 days, on something that you find challenging. So it may be drawing girls, it may be drawing backgrounds to buildings, it may be drawing guys, it may be drawing, cats. It could be anything really that you have a issue drawing. And for 15 to 30 minutes a day, I want you guys to sit down, focus on it, turn off your phone or whatever, and just draw. And at the end of the week, at the end of the week, you want to draw the same thing. So you can draw whatever, all different types of cats for a week. But at the end of the week, try to draw the same picture you drew the first day and compare the two. So compare your Monday with your Sunday, or is that 7 days? Yeah, your Monday with your Sunday. And you'll see noticeable improvement. You'll see that your cat, so you're drawing cats from your Monday, is kind of awkward looking. And your cat from your Sunday, if you're doing it 30 minutes or more a day, will look a lot better. And that's just so your brain needs the evidence if you're getting disheartened. Your brain needs the evidence that you can learn. Because then it's like, oh wait, well, I'm going crazy here. I can actually learn this. And here's evidence that I can, because I was bad on Monday. Right? I was not good this day, and now I'm good on this day, right? So it's good to give your brain some tangible evidence of your improvement, so you can remember when you kind of feel disheartened or whatever. I know I like to do that when I feel like I see people who are way better than me. I'm like, oh man, I'm just never gonna get there, right? That like pops in, that kind of pops into my mind. I'm like, wait a minute, what am I talking about? Look at where I was, at this day, thinking I would like get good on that day, so I can see I improved, and it really helps you out. So yeah, I actually have one more thing I'd like to go over, and that's something about fundamentals. So if you have seen my other video, my previous video, I think I've discussed or went over the idea of the 100-page challenge. It's from Bakuman Volume 3. And Moritaka, I think his name is Mashiro, does 100 pages of shonen manga because he can't do it. He doesn't know how to do it. And he does 100 pages of shonen manga. And currently, I'm also doing the same thing, 100 pages of manga and other comic books. As you can see here, this is from the Naruto 26th volume. But it's 100 pages I'm trying to do so I can practice all the things I'm bad at. So I pick pages that kind of have challenging things that I don't really understand. I pick pages that have, like, let's say I'm bad at buildings. I pick pages with buildings. I pick pages with trees. I pick pages with action scenes. I'm not like a really big action scene kind of guy. I know, like, there's an action scene right here. And this is actually a redo of a page from The Breed in my old sketchbook. Actually, you'll see that in the video when I put it up. But yeah, so I was doing all the things I couldn't do. I was picking pages with girls and stuff like that would challenge me. And I'm copying because when you copy, you kind of get into the mind of the artist that you're copying. So I'll show you here. I copied a couple more pages. This is from Gundam. This is from Opus. And these were to practice screen tones. So I'm screen toning in Manga Studio and lettering in Manga Studio. And it's a good way to practice those things, because if you want to really just get the tool out the way, not the tool, I'd say get the skill out the way, and you're not really worried about being creative at this precise moment, just copy and you'll learn the skill. And when you learn the skill, you can improve from there. So now I understand how to screen tone in Manga Studio. I understand how to put letters in. I understand how to draw buildings like a professional would, because I was using the same basic principles and tools that a professional would be using. So that's very, 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 very important. You can get books like this. These are from the library. But a good tip is, if you have a scanner at home, get a bunch of nice books from the library. This is Eiichiro Oda's One Piece color book. This book is Mike Mignola, who does Hellboy. This is Legend of Korra, the animated series, and some of these books. And you can take those books and you can go to your scanner at home and you can copy the pages that you really like, or all the pages. You know, it's not illegal. I don't think it's illegal, because they let you take the book. But yeah, you can copy the pages, scan them in. By copy, I mean scan them in. I'm sorry. And scan them into your computer and make some reference folders. So you have, like, you know, Eiichiro Oda reference folder, or a Mike Mignola reference folder. And when you want reference for certain ideas, hit up that reference folder, and you have all these pictures of all these cool things that you'd have to, like, really dig in the internet for. They're all on your computer right in front of you when you need them. This comes to another topic of being creative. A lot of people have a misconception about being creative. And the misconception, I've had it for a long time, is that you're supposed to just sit down and just come up with a creative idea. And it doesn't really work like that. Some people understand this, some people don't. I know I did it when I first started. And I once thought that, you know, I should kind of lock myself away from things so I can be creative on my own. And it's actually, that's actually very bad, because your mind doesn't work like that. Your mind works with reference. Anything that you do, your mind's like a sponge, and it sucks in the world around it, and it, you know, mixes all together, shakes it up, and then spits it back out. And when you suck in a lot of good things into your life, your brain will mix it all up and it'll spit it back out. So if you like a lot of Naruto, White Manga is actually a very perfect example of this. His work was very Bleach influenced in the past, if you look at it. And he talks about it and stuff like that. There's great videos on about styles and things like that you should watch. But he obviously read a lot of Bleach, and it would come through in his style. And that's a perfect visual example if you want to see. I'll link his channel if you don't know White Manga. If you want to create comic books, you should check that guy's channel out. But you could see that he was very influenced, because he sucked it in and his brain would mix it up and he would spit it out. And you could do that with a lot of your influences. And you're not stealing, right? Unless you're like really just copying and plagiarizing their work, because everybody's being influenced by something. And over time, if you look at example like White Manga style, you can see that it has evolved into its own style. There's a little bit of Bleach influence, a little bit of influence from a lot of things. And eventually it will evolve into its own style. But when you're learning and you're beginning, it's okay to have a style that resembles somebody else's style, if that's what you want to learn from, okay? Because over time, your style will eventually kind of just break out into its own version, because your fundamental self is still going to be shown through in that style. So it's okay at first to copy, as long as you continue drawing, you continue adding new influences in and your own ideas, and your brain will kind of suck all those ideas in and it'll spit them out original. That sounds kind of weird. Your brain will take in these influences and it'll kind of just, it'll take what it wants, take a little bit from each, right? The things that it needs that's useful. Like maybe there's a cross-hatching style you really particularly like. And with any art, all artists, no artist I'd say is original. It's really hard to be completely original. I don't know if that's like a possibility. You might have to just be like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what you define as completely original. But even when things are completely original, they're definitely still influenced by outside factors. It's just impossible not to be, because you live in a world surrounded with people and outside factors. So, yes. So I'm going to go over them quickly. A little quick recap of what the video. When you want to get started, just start, assess your abilities, because you can go from drawing ugly spray cans to drawing relatively okay-looking comic book pages. When you feel the resistance of doubt in your body, and you think, man, I'm never going to get that good. I've been there. Every artist that has ever succeeded has been there. Any artist that has ever drawn anything has been there. Don't listen to it, because, you know, those are kind of like automatic signals in your brain. You know, you don't have to listen to those. Tell yourself, you know, you're going to get good. And here's the proof. I don't know if you think this is good or not, but I went from this, you know, right, to this. And that's proof you do get better if you continue at it. Being creative, buy art books, go to the library, go to Barnes and Nobles, any bookstore, buy books, go to library, take out books, scan the pages in, read, use Pinterest, YouTube, all these. You live in the 21st century. You have all these awesome tools for artists. It's just so great. You'll never run out of tools to learn, and you really want to take advantage of those, because a lot of artists in the past didn't really have those kind of tools. So it's really great that we all have them, and we can all learn from them, and we can improve the way we actually want to improve. And practice your fundamentals. I recommend trying the 100-page challenge. I'll link my Instagram in the description, because I have a video, or not a video, but a post on it, and you'll see what I actually kind of say the rules are. Not the rules, but what it's actually about. But yeah, practice. Copy some pages from other people. Copy the things that you think are hard, because the only way to get good is to continuously practice. There's no fast way to get good. There's no magic pill you can take to just get good. And you wouldn't want that anyway. You want to practice, you want to learn, you want to understand. And that's about it. So I hope you like this video. Comment, like, dislike, subscribe, and really tell me what you think. And I'd like to know what you guys like to have as a video next, because I'm in Arizona now. I'm having a progress video coming up. And yeah, just tell me what you guys are looking forward to, and I'll try to make a video on it. So, Scorch Artist, peace out.